going to enlighten us on many things. So to invite the speaker, now let me invite Dr. Gunashekaran from STC to welcome the speaker.
I'm from WIMS, not from STC.
No, WIMS, sorry. Extremely sorry.
Oh, no issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Nandi, for giving me an opportunity to welcome the gathering as well as introducing the today's eminent speaker, Mr. M. Ramakrishnan. Good evening, Mr. Ramakrishnan, colleagues, and all participants. Today it is going to be an excellent session with Mr. Ramakrishnan. He is the co-founder of Tulasi Pharmacies India Private Limited. They have got a chain of pharmacies to the extent of about 78 pharmaceutical outlets in covering 35 cities all over the places. So they started their journey in the year 2001, and in less than 2 decades they have grown to this level with 78, and still it is going on. When I was talking to Mr. Ramakrishnan, he was telling that the journey is still going, and they have excellent dreams to be fulfilled in future. He is going to talk about the managing challenges in retail. Retailing is one of the major fields which is catching up momentum for the past decade or even little more than that. But look at Mr. Ramakrishnan's vision 2 decades before. He dreamt that the retailing is going to become an excellent area where they have to concentrate and started their pharmaceutical retail outlets. And today almost they are touching around 250 crores in pharmaceutical outlets through around 80 outlets, which is going to be a very significant achievement of such a great accomplishment. He's actually got a lot of awards during his journey of these 2 decades. A few I would like to mention, like the Business Excellence Award from JCA in the year 2013, and Economics Times Retail Award for the operational efficiency. Running a retail outlet, multiple retail outlet, and maintaining the operating efficiency is a real challenge, which he has got even an award on that operational efficiency from Economic Times in the year 2014. And he only few I would like to name out. India Retail Excellence Award from Retail Association of India, ROI, Southern Region in the year 2018, and very recently, about less than a year before, within a year, he has got an excellent award from Vocational Excellence Award from Rotary Coimbatore Galaxy in April 2022. So he has had an excellent credits behind before coming to this achievement, and then he is here to address all our participants today. We are very fortunate to have such a great eminent speaker, and like all of you, I'm also very desperate to listen from him. What are all the challenges which he has faced, and what are all the how he has overcome such kind of challenges, and then became a very successful retailer in the country today. Over to Mr. Ramakrishnan. Thank you very much for giving an opportunity to introduce such an eminent personality. And I request Mr. Ramakrishnan to take over from here. Over to Mr. Ramakrishnan. Please take it over.
So, thank you, Dr. Gunashekaran. Thank you very much for that very elaborate introduction. But I have 2 questions. One is, you were introducing me as an eminent speaker. I doubt very much on that. The second point is, I'm not a very good speaker. You introduced as a great speaker. Normally, business people are hardly you find good speakers as businessmen, right? Okay, let me get on to the business. See, today's topic is the retail challenges in the retail and how we have handled it, how we have tackled it, and how we have taken the company to this level. So normally, when we see, basically we were pharmaceutical distributors. Just before this meeting, I was discussing with, I was mentioning that I have a marketing experience in two of the leading pharmaceutical companies in India. And after that, I became a pharma distributor. From 87. I was a part of a pharma distribution business, which I am even now. Then in 2000, so there in the pharma distribution, when I was looking after the pharma distribution, I observed that that the pharma retailing, the way the pharma retailing was run in the 90s was very primitive. Though country was developing at a much faster pace during the 90s because of the liberalization during PVN, the Prime Minister PVN and Dr. Manmohan Singh. Many new things came. The standards of many of the industries rose, but still the pharma retail industry was in a primitive stage. If you all remember, it was all like a mom and pop store, just 200 square feet. Customers, they have to stand out, give the prescription, and they have to peep into the counter to get the medicines. So shops were dusty, shops were not lit up properly, medical shops were not air conditioned. There was no proper billing. There were a lot of pitfalls in the way the pharma retailing was happening in the country till 2000. So as a pharma distributor and as a pharma marketing man, and since I had traveled to some of the foreign countries, some of the countries, not Western, even the Southeast Asian countries, and I could observe that we were very primitive the way we were running the pharma retailing business in India. So myself and with two of my friends, we decided to experiment. It was just started as an experiment to start a retail. So what we thought was we offered too many things which were not there at that point of time. We started a pharmacy. Initially we started with 2 pharmacies. Both were more than around 100,000 square feet. Both were, we air conditioned the pharmacies. At that time it was not there. Now all the pharmacies are air conditioned. So we had at least 4 or 5 pharmacies in each of the stores. We introduced a facility called counseling, where the patients were offered the basic details about medicines. The patients were given some basic health checkups and things like some value-added things like that. So when we decided to start retailing, we thought we should give a lot of value addition. Then the customer and the product availability also. The product, because those days when a customer comes out with a prescription, he has to go to at least 2-3 shops to get the whole thing. If the doctor has written some 5 or 6 medicines, he will not be able to get it in one outlet. He has to go from A to B to C like that. So what we stocked, our stores were well stocked. More than 8,000 to 9,000 SKUs we had stocked even at that point of time. So customer need not jump from one shop to the another to get their prescriptions fulfilled. So these are some of the things which we did during the time of launch itself. Because as a pharma distributor and as a marketing man, I could identify the pitfalls. See, one is availability, another is improper storage of medicines. Then there was no pharmacist in the full-time pharmacist. So we tried to rectify all these mistakes. And we also thought that we should give certain value additions to the customer. That is why we introduced all of these things. And apart from that, we gave a big discount, which was around slightly more than 10%. So you all should be knowing, just before getting onto the retail business, you should also know about how the Indian pharma industry evolved in the past 3-4 decades. So Indian pharma industry was minuscule at the time when I came into this industry. I got into this industry in 1985. At that time, the Indian pharma industry was just 650 crores. The total pharma industry was only 650 crores, including export. Exports at that time was practically nil. Today, we have crossed more than 3.5 lakh crores. I think no other industry has grown like this in approximately around 35 years. We have grown from 650 crores to 3.5 lakh crores, out of which approximately 50% is domestic and 50% is 51% is domestic, and around 49% is the domestic. Domestic, and 51% is the export. Sorry. So we have grown way far away from what we were in the 80s. And even the drug consumption. So those days when we were in the school, when I was in the school at least, people would hardly go. Once in a year, they would go to a medical shop, or twice in a year when they get cough, cold, something. During the season, they will go. But after the 90s, diabetes and hypertension has become a way of life. So almost every third Indian has got diabetes today. Every third Indian is an hypertensive today. So the consumption has also grown up. In the consumption of medicine also has increased manifold. So that was another opportunity for the pharma industry. That is how the Indian pharma industry has grown from 650 crores to what it is today. So, but at the same time, it was putting a huge economic burden on the common man. Every month, you would have observed that in 2000, after 2000, each family has to spend at least 2,000, 3,000 rupees on the for medicines. So whatever saving we could offer on the medicine, on this particular area, it will be of much help to the common man. So we offered 10%, which is almost 10 to 12%. So, which was not there. We were the first to offer a discount among the retail pharmacies in this part of the country. So it was a great saving, and it was a great help to the, especially to the senior citizens, especially to the retired people. For them, every money saved is money earned. So we were a big hit at that point of time. But the challenge we faced was the retail pharma had a very strong association. So what they did was since we also had our pharma distribution business, on the one hand, they tried to choke the supplies to our retail outlets, and on the other side, they stopped buying from us, from our distribution business, and even they went to the extent of stopping the payment to us. So we were caught on both sides. One side, my wholesale business was hit, and on the other side, we were not getting the proper supplies of medicines. So it was a real tough challenge at that point of time, and they thought, the Pharma Retail Association, they thought that we will bow to their arm twisting, but we dared to take them head on. We took them to 3-4 cases were filed against them. Later on, we went to the MRTP Commission. Now it is called Anti-Competition Commission. At that time, it was called. Now it is called Competition Commission. At that time, it was called MRTP Commission. We took them up to MRTP Commission. We took them to the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court. We filed a case in Tenkasi. We filed a case in Coimbatore. So we took them to the courts in 4 or 5 places, which they didn't expect. And the courts came out with heavy strictures on that association, and they stopped doing all that. And somehow we could, our supplies were restored, but somehow our wholesale business got affected. But the supplies to the retail outlets, they couldn't do much. We were getting supplies. So the business started growing, but we wanted to make it in a even at the time when we started, we thought we should take it to a bigger level, make it as a bigger chain, make it as a national player, take it to the stock markets. We had a lot of dreams at that point of time. So we started branding our pharmacy. And how we branded our pharmacy itself, that is because being a small enterprise, we didn't have much of the resources to brand our pharmacy. So we tried certain unique methods to brand our pharmacy. I will just share a PPT on that now.
Sir, you can go to share screen and you can share it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sundar, our co-host தானே?
ஆமா, co-host தான் sir.
Yes, sir. No, it is there, sir. I will just share.
Yeah.
Sir, share it. Sir, are you able to see that screen, sir? My screen?
Yeah, it's complete.
Yes, now visible,
sir. Yeah. You can go on the PowerPoint mode. You can go on a slideshow mode.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's visible, sir. No problem.
It's not working. Not getting the PowerPoint mode, sir. That is the...
This slide is visible, no issues. Sir.
1 minute, sir. Yeah.
Go ahead, show and.
So, yes.
Yeah.
So at the time of starting
perfect.
the pharmacy itself, even while naming the pharmacy, we had these three things in mind, sir. One is the name has to be short, the name has to be unique, the name has to be memorable. So you all would accept that our name is short, our name is unique, our name is memorable, and our name is also relevant to the industry which we are. And even sentimentally, Tulasi is very much attached to the Indian household. So we very carefully chose the name for our brand. Another thing is we tried to build public relationship. So strategic public relationship is a key for success of small companies because it is credible, it is affordable. So what we did was we did lot of programs, like tree planting, like health camps. See, this is one of our tree planting initiatives in the neighborhood. Wherever we have our stores, we would have at least planted 2,000 trees in and around Coimbatore those days. Wherever we are present in the immediate neighborhood, we used to join with the Residents Welfare Association. We used to join with Rotary clubs. We used to join with Lions Club and do some social activities. We used to do some, this is a program on health awareness. This is Dr. Bhuvneshwaran. We did this in association with Hindu. This we did in our Coimbatore outlet. This is an eye camp conducted in some place, I do not know. So we have our Blood Donors Association. Whenever we enroll a lot of our customers who are interested in donating blood in this Blood Donors Association. We have done more than 3,000 blood donations till now. This we started in the year 2010, and now we have crossed around 3,000 donations. And also what we do is we celebrate the festivals. See, this is the Christmas celebration which we have done in our stores. Then we also do, we do a lot of promotional campaigns, specifically targeting the groups. Like for Teachers' Day, we give special offers for teachers. For Doctors' Day, we give special offers for doctors. Like that. This we are doing it for the past 15 years. And we celebrate We also come out with specific ads on various days like World Health Day, World Diabetes Day, like that. So we do a lot of marketing at the local level. See, like do direct mailers, we do pamphlet distribution, we do joint promotions, we do a lot of sponsorship with in the local community. So, and this is another point in on branding. Don't try to be everything for everyone. We at Tulsi focus on medicines and not on cosmetics or other products like other medical shops. At that point of time, see, many medical shops were selling whatever they could sell. They were indulging in scramble marketing. They used to sell even idli mavas, film rolls, and they were doing all that, the recharging and all that. But we were very focused. We only did pharma selling and nothing more. So, but we concentrate. We were very focused. We ensured the availability of all medicines. So when a customer comes to our store, he is ensured that he will get the product. So we were very keen on that. So we offered a lot of things which were quite different from the other stores. See, here, if you fail to be different, customers will focus on price. So what we did was we were different, and yet at the same time our pricing also was economical. Our pricing also was very competitive. So we offered all this: ambience, pricing, quality, service, availability. We had value-added services, as I told you. We had a counselor. We have a counselor in each of our outlet. He will do, the basic health tests like BP monitoring, sugar monitoring, blood glucose monitoring, like that. And we also offered free door delivery. We didn't charge for credit card at that time. Now nobody is charging the credit card charges, but even in 2001 we were not charging. And the pricing, on the pricing front, we have been consistent. We were not changing the discount patterns. We were not changing the prices often. Pricing was very consistent, so that the customer feels, these people are credible. And we also focused on, we were very, we used to buy only from the genuine suppliers, not from Tom, Dick, and Harry. And our labor, and our employee welfare measures are also there, or even now they are very good. Sorry. So this is just to give you an idea, this is our mission statement: to provide a world-class pharmacy, to provide world-class pharmacy services to the ailing, to provide quality medicines at affordable prices, to prevent abuse of medicines, to educate patients on safe use of medicines, to ensure availability of medicines, and to be a responsible corporate citizen. This is our mission statement, and we have lived up to it. So now I'll close this presentation and I will continue with my lesson, right? So this is how, we not only offered a lot of services, we also did marketing in a unique way. Because being a small enterprise at that time, we were not able to spend much on TV advertisements or newspaper advertisements. So we focused on contacting the customer directly, like by means of camps. We used to do roughly, it will be a very hard number for you all to believe. We do around roughly 1,800 camps every year across Tamil Nadu. So that gives us an opportunity for us to directly contact the customer. The customer can give their feedback, whether we are good, in what way we are not doing okay. So we used to get the direct feedback from the customer, and we are able to change our strategy. That is one way we have been able to establish our company to this extent. And then so this was the initial phase of Tulsi. That is from 2000. What I was mentioning all the while was only between 2000 and 2010. But by 2010, we had become a reasonably bigger company. But many pharmacies have started aping our strategies. They started giving bigger discount than us because they were mom and pop stores. They were under the direct control of the owners. So they started giving offers, bigger offers than, bigger discounts than us, and it became a big headache for us. So what we did was by 2010, we started introducing our own label products in the therapeutic segment, in the prescription market, which was a very big, which was considered to be a very big risk. Sir told me that he worked for Ranbaxy, so he should be knowing how risky it is to meddle with the prescription of the doctor. What we did at that point of time was we came out with a lot of products, generic, branded generic versions of our own label in the anti-hypertensive, anti-diabetic, cardiac segments, which are only 50%, 40% of the brand leaders. So if the doctor writes a bigger brand, brand of a bigger company, we used to tell the customer that we have a brand, a similar product, a same product almost, made from a very good manufacturer, but the pricing is only half. So you can save a big money. So this is how we started promoting our own brands. And the customers also, slowly they started accepting, and they experienced a big saving in their medical bill. And today now we have got around 85 own label products, and we have started doing very well with the own product. Even the government of India started this model only in the 2013-14, like that. This Jan Aushadhi, they came out only in 2013 or 2014. But we started doing this in 2000 itself. So these are some of the things which we did for the customers. And the competition in the smaller pharmacies was taken care by introducing our own labels. So any small pharmacy, they couldn't come out with this strategy, and they were struggling to grow. But by 2000, later part of the 2015, 16, the many organized players have jumped into the industry, and they are giving more discount than us. But the problem with the bigger retail chains, the national chains, is that their availability is a problem. They are their purchase is centralized, so they may not be able to cater to the customer's prescription immediately. They will take 2-3 days time, or they may not be even able to cater to the customer's prescription, because there are umpteen brands. Indian pharma industry itself is little unique. We have hundreds of atorvastatins, we have hundreds of glimiprides, we have multiplicity of brands, which will be a big headache for any retailer. So product which is prescribed in Coimbatore may not be prescribed in Chennai. Product which is prescribed in Karur may not be prescribed in Madurai. So we should have local purchase. So what we did was we had a hybrid model of purchasing. We did both. Bigger companies, we bought centralized. Smaller companies, we bought locally. Thereby, we were able to cater to the customer then and there immediately. So that was one advantage. So customers still keep coming to us. We are able to handle the national level players. And now we ourselves have become reasonably big players with our presence in more than 35 cities. We have a customer base of more than 10 lakh. We are present in Bangalore. We are also present in Kerala. Now we have got the volume so that we are able to comfortably run the business. But in 2000, after this COVID, another problem we are facing is the staff attrition. E-pharmacy, the way the e-pharmacy is offering discount is unbelievable. It is not possible. These companies, we all know, they just want to build sales and hive it off to somebody. Their focus itself is on building the enterprise value, come out with an IPO or take private equity funding, and the promoters will exit. That is their focus. So they started offering big discounts, but even that doesn't seem to be working now. Now in the past 6 months, all that has gone. They are not offering very big discounts. All the big players have come into the pharma industry now. Reliance has come, Tata's have come, then already Apollo is there, Netplus has come out with an IPO. So all the big players are now in the pharma retail industry, which was not the case 20 years back. So competition is hotting up in our industry too. We have to wait, but somehow we enjoy the competition. Otherwise, it will be a boring affair. The recent challenges we face is the staff attrition, because every month we keep losing around 50 to 100 staffs. But so now we have strengthened our HR department, and we have also automated most of our processes. So thereby we are able to tackle even that. So this is a small, a brief about how the way we run our business, the challenges we have faced, and the ways we have tried to overcome the challenges. So any questions, we can take it forward as an interactive session.
Yes, students and participants, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask, or you can put it in chat. I'll be able to moderate. So there are a few questions which has come in the chat. I can read it out for you. Muruganathan Jagannath is asking, sir, can I insist for generic medicine when branded medicine is prescribed?
Sir, I'm able to see that, sir. 1 minute, sir. I'll answer that. See, he has asked, can I insist for generic medicine when branded medicine is prescribed? Right? However, the problem here is, if you see in countries like USA, the developed markets, the bigger pharmacy chains will have their generics. So you are buying from a dependable source. But in India, if you go and ask for a generic product from a retailer, he will give a product where he gets more margin. So you're not guaranteed of a good quality product. Maybe he can give you, if he's a very ethical person, he may give you a good product also. But in India, generic itself is not available. The products are not available in generic except in Jan Aushadhi. Every company, for instance, Cipla has got a generic division, Ranbaxy has got a generic division, Lupin has got a generic division. All the top companies have got their generic divisions. But what they do, ironically, is they have not brought down the MRP. MRP remains like that of a branded product. The benefit is passed down to the chemist and not to the customer. But in our case, what we have done is we have brought down the MRP. That is one thing. Customer gets a benefit. Another thing, the customer can confidently buy from us because we are present in that area for quite some time, for 2 decades. So we get the product sourced from very reputed manufacturers in the country. So they can very confidently buy from us. This is the advantage. So even if you try this with other chemists, this is the problem. You may not get a quality product because it is a product. Every time he keeps buying from wherever he gets better margin. So you can insist, but the place where you're buying medicine also is very important. And how are you facing competition from bigger pharmacy retailers? This I think I've already briefed, because there are a lot of local things involved. A doctor writes a product which is not available. Many a times you can experience this. When you go to Apollo, you will not get the product because their sourcing is centralized. They may not be able to get a product which is written by a doctor in your locality. So customers do not want to go repeatedly to a pharmacy. Already they are sick. They would not want to go again and again to the pharmacy. They would want to get the medicines immediately. So this is how, in our stores, you get the medicines. 9 out of 10 products you will get. So customer keeps coming. The convenience is there, availability, because of the availability, customer confidently comes to us. So another question is, too many pharma manufacturers in India, quality-wise and price-wise, is it advantages or disadvantages? But most of you, we always keep complaining about price of medicines in India. Actually, the price of medicine in India is only 1/10 of our neighboring countries. It will be very hard for you guys to believe. We are only 1/10 of the pricing of even countries like Sri Lanka or Pakistan. India is the lowest. The price of medicines in India is the lowest in the world, because we are a very big producer of generic medicines in the world. We are called the pharmacy of the third world. So another question is, are medical devices, cardiac stents, kneecaps, nor coming under the scope of price control? Now, cardiac stents have come under the price control, but hospitals have devised new methods of charging the patients. I should not comment about it in public. So they know they have become genius in fleecing the customers. India is called pharmacy of the world. Still, there are confusions about quality of medicines. Are our regulations insufficient? Yes, are our regulations insufficient? It is yes and no. In certain states, states like Tamil Nadu, the regulations are okay. But if you go to places in North India, the regulations are not very strictly. Companies voluntarily they follow good practices. Companies, bigger companies. You have smaller companies in places like Badi, Himachal Pradesh, Badi, Solan, and and north there you have a lot of smaller companies which indulge in all unethical things. So, but in places like Bombay, Gujarat, places like Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, the drug control mechanism is good. In North India, we cannot claim to be so. Has dependence on China for API considerably reduced? No, it has not reduced. Government of India is trying to do that. We missed the bus during the 90s. Earlier, in the early 90s, we were a big producer of APIs. But after liberalization, the government, they should have introduced anti-dumping against the Chinese, but they failed to do so. Hundreds of companies who were in the API went bankrupt, and especially in Hyderabad, I have seen more than 200 companies going bankrupt in the late 90s. So that was the problem. They should have acted during the mid 90s when GATT was signed and free flow of API was flowing into India from China. They should have acted immediately. They are trying to they try to lock the stable after the houses have left. But now, because after the COVID and because of the trade war between China and USA, many companies have started coming back to India. I hope in the next 3-4 years, we may gain traction in that field, the API, in the next 3-4 years. So, any other questions here?
Yes.
This is about the staff or outages. Is there any idea of starting apps and home delivery services with these? Yeah, we are also planning to come out with a e-pharmacy. We have the software, but we have some small hiccups. But in the what we have observed generally in the e-pharmacy space is people only go to the e-pharmacies for want of discounts. So even now we have a door delivery system which is very vibrant. You just call the stores, you will get the product within 2-3 hours. Every day in Coimbatore alone, we make more than 300-400 deliveries. So it is already there. And another question from Ratnavel. Ratna, good evening first. Would you consider offering an 1 credit online course on pharmacy management for MBA students? We can try, Ratna, but time is a big constraint. Anyhow, we can try. We can try, but the takers is a question. I think some of the business schools offered retail, MBA in retail, but I think now in Coimbatore, all these schools have stopped. Is it, sir?
Sir, MBA retail, not many are offering according to my knowledge, few are still offering MBA retail.
Here in Coimbatore, sir?
Yeah. We don't have exclusive retail MBA. When they choose electives in marketing, they have options. So still some of the B schools offer retail. So we also offer, particularly in the third semester, we do offer retailing as one of the electives.
Okay. And another question is, are you permitted to deliver generic products against any prescription without informing the patients? No, certainly no, because it will create a big ruckus with the customer. We can inform, we can try to convince a customer. If the customer is not convinced, then we have to give the original product which he is asking for. The prescribed product which he is asking for. Without informing the customer, we cannot do so. We should not do, at least. That's all, sir. I think there are no further questions.
Okay.
Uh,
Students, any questions you can just unmute and ask, or you can still put in the chat. We have time. And you are a true inspiration for entrepreneurship, sir, because an entrepreneur is a person who brings a change to the economy and to people's life. So what I observe when I see Tulsi Pharmacy is, first and foremost, you are actually employing pharmacists in your shops. I think that is a very big paradigm shift what you have bought in terms of employment in pharmacies. This is as long as when small pharmacies were there, we will not find the pharmacist in most of the small retail shops. I think that way you are actually creating very good employment opportunity for the family deform students in particular. And of course, that is leading to a lot of employment opportunities also. And not only that, since your shops are running longer hours, I'm able to see people work in different shifts. Someone wants to do a part time, I think they can come to a shift at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and stay till the late night. You are giving an opportunity for them to make that extra money to fulfill their needs. And rightly mentioned, end of the day, it's a purpose. That's the purpose what I see in the Tulsi Pharmacy as such. You are trying to reduce the burden of the people with the increased lifestyle diseases across the country, where we are now the diabetes capital. Cardiac is slowly catching up, and the what to say, the burden on the medicine is too much on every household. I think by giving through discounts, you are actually able to address that, and you are able to make uh, the life of people little easier uh, when it comes to their treatment. I think it's a true entrepreneurial spirit is what that you have actually put in your Tulsi Pharmacy. And when your Tulsi Pharmacy started in the beginning, actually, even that time, even I was in the industry, I used to I used to wonder, such a big pharmacy, so where to go and take the retail survey, so how to get the products. But I've seen how it has evolved since from its baby stage, and today I've seen how it has grown to leaps and bounds. As someone was requesting if you can offer a one credit course for MBA students, I think most of the MBA generally students know more about FMCG. In and of, if you go to any textbooks, you have n number of examples on FMCG retailing. Rarely you will see actually on pharma retailing. I think that's a great opportunity if you have time, no, where you can actually share this knowledge to this student community. That you should take a call in that. That will be a great service to
one
you.
one lesson, sir, throughout in my 21 years of retailing, and almost I'm in business for the past 35 years,
Yeah.
out of which 20 years in 21 years in retailing. So we have always tried to incorporate the latest software, the latest technologies. We have tried to maintain good, employee standards, good HR standards. We offer good training to the pharmacist. We offer training to the dispensing staff. We have a continuous program to train the dispensing staff on medicines. We have a training manager. So we have an HR manager. We have invested a lot of things. We are one of the recently we have moved to SAP.
Yeah.
So which is we were able to automate a lot of our accounting functions.
Yes.
So somehow we keep constantly upgrading the software, upgrading wherever technology can be substituted for man, for human thing. We have tried to automate most of our processes. On the
Yes.
BI side, business intelligence side, we have done a lot of things. uh, so on the ordering, on how to on the how to monitor the stocks, how to we do a lot of customer behavior analysis. Whatever is done in the modern, marketing thing, we are trying to incorporate in our stores,
Oh,
which
nice.
most of the pharmacies don't do, to my knowledge. We keep calling the missed customers. At least every store keeps calling at least 200 customers in a month. Missed customers who have not bought in the recent 2-3 months. We take a list of the missed customers. We send bulk SMSs, announcing our offers, announcing our special discounts, things like that. We constantly, engage with the customers. We
True.
send even greeting cards for birthdays, wedding days. We do a lot of things like that. We ultimately we get emotionally connected with the customer.
Absolutely, sir. That's something very critical this juncture. Sir, one more question is today, when you look at a lot of online pharmacies, they started engaging celebrities. No, you take NetMeds or whatever it is. Have you thought about of doing something in the regional level through some influencer advertising? Will it help, or what's your opinion on it?
So pharma, not much, sir. It will help definitely. Any marketing effort will help, but to what extent? The cost benefit analysis, if you do that, then the answer may not be positive.
Correct.
The answer may not be positive because the product profile is like that. Nobody, it's not an aspirational product. So every month they keep coming back to buy medicines. So the customer doesn't happily come to a pharmacy. That is one very important thing. So
Absolutely.
the effect of a celebrity, the effect of very glitzy marketing campaigns don't work here. The campaigns have to be focused on the customer convenience, customer pricing, the amount of money the customer saves. That should be one thing. Other thing is convenience. Other thing is availability. These are the things, which directly address the customer needs, are very important. Unlike in the case of an apparel brand, or unlike in the case of an FMCG brand, those things are, customer is happily buying those things. So customer would spend more time, before buying the product. But in our case, a doctor writes a prescription. The patient doesn't think anything. Doesn't have to think, to decide what to buy and what not to buy. But in case of an apparel, or in case of even a luggage, you will do a little bit of homework. So when you do that homework, all these influencers, all these advertisements, all these things are very important. But in case of medicines, doctor prescribes and we sell. Doctor and the patients just consume. So it's a very simple case. So here, customer focuses only on two things. One is, if I go to this particular shop, will I get all the products? Two is, if I go to this shop, what amount of money I will save? These are two things. The third thing is, will I get genuine medicines? Is the company dependable? These are 3-4 things, very important things. The rest all may not have a bigger impact.
Correct. Perfect, sir. I think there are no more questions.
Marketing, you can also throw your inputs.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. I think you have rightly mentioned the customer expectations when they're actually visiting a pharmacy shop. As you rightly mentioned, today most of them, they look for pharmacy shops where they give good discount, and of course where I can get all the medicines. And most importantly, the service also matters for most of them. I think you are a customer centric retail chain as such, what I've seen. And even I have experienced in all your chains, people are the hospitality is very good. They don't leave customers unattended actually. And
Sir, that is the strength of Tulsi, sir. I was even discussing with one of the directors of a very big pharmacy chain in Hyderabad.
Okay.
I was on a one-to-one with that managing director.
Okay.
So that employee motivation, you must be able to maintain that employee motivational levels. We do a lot of activities to do that. We take them on a annual trip. We take the managers on a foreign trip every year who all have achieved their targets. We take them on a foreign trip. Every 6 months, our managers meeting is conducted in a holiday, in a star destination, star hotel, in a holiday destination.
Yes.
So we run like a big marketing companies.
Marketing company. Yes.
Like our Ranbaxy or Sun Pharma.
Yeah.
So we do it like that. So generally, our managers, they would not have experienced all this. Those they feel motivated. We also have sports day. We conduct even interbranch cricket, then athletic meet. We do a lot of things to keep the employee morale high. And once that is high, the way they interact with the customers, it is often said, the way we treat our employee, they treat the customers. So when we start treating them well, they definitely start treating the customers well. This has been our strength.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've experienced it also. And other thing is when we go for billing, actually it's hassle free. You just need to give your, you need to just wait. Someone calls you to pay the bill and someone delivers. Absolutely. There is no rush in the billing counter. That is generally what I have seen uniqueness in your Tulsi pharmacy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the compliment.
Yes. There are no more questions, sir. Shall we summarize?
I am Muruganathan.
Yes, sir.
Why you are not going in for a large scale expansion?
All these days we have been expanding only with our internally accrued money, sir. Funds. Only with by just plowing back our profits. We have not gone for external borrowings. Unlike the companies, these latest companies. But maybe in future we will do that. In the near future, we have plans.
Okay, thank you. Sir, looks like there are no more questions. Shall we summarize and close it, sir? Wrap it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So if I have to summarize, actually, you have actually initiated your discussion how the pharma shops were in a primitive stage with so much of gaps in the past, were all small shops with lack of infrastructures and etc. And you have actually started with 2 retail shops, and that was a time where pharmacy shops were actually air conditioned. And more importantly, you have bought a paradigm shift how a pharma shops looks like, where from 200 square feet the shops are now 1,000 square feet. I think that was one big paradigm shift what you actually bought in designing a pharmaceutical shop. And of course you brought a value add to the patients who come into your pharmacy. That is, you introduced a counseling facility, because in Western countries counseling facilities are quite common when anybody goes to doctor, but unfortunately in our country that's not there. I think with the wisdom you have actually brought this service to the patients who actually visit your shop. I think still I see in your shop there is a corner for counseling with BP apparatus, with equipments to check your blood sugars. That's something great thing what you have done. And I think that was the idea, was basically to give a lot of value addition. And of course product availability is something very important. And you have filled the gaps in the existing which was prevailing in those days with the existing pharma shops. That is having a pharmacist, a dispensing pharmacist, having a counselor, and having all the products in place. And as you rightly mentioned, the 90s, when the lifestyle diseases actually started dominating our country, we see more and more people getting into diabetes, more and people getting into CVDs. So of course, the burden on purchasing medicine was huge for most of the families. I think that was the time you actually gave some relief for these families by introducing a discount business. So that way, even these families who have to consume medicine on a daily basis, they've relieved to a certain extent. And also you have mentioned that this lifestyle disease has actually brought in a very big increased growth in the pharmaceutical sector as such, as a pharma market. And you spoke about the tough challenge what you faced, what you faced with your wholesale business and what you faced with the retail business. And I think you did the right thing where you never budged to these people and you actually faced them head on, and actually you have that's the reason I think today you are so unique and you have been so successful. That day, if we have just taken a back seat looking at these people, I think probably things would have, a lot of things would have missed in your success journey. And you spoke in brief about branding of pharmacy. Yes, rightly mentions that the branding strategies as such, it should be short, it should be unique, it should be memorable, it should be relevant. I think Tulasi actually fits this concept. And you spoke about a lot of strategic public relation partnership. Today, building a public relation is something very important for a brand to sustain. I think that you have actually started in the initial days itself, like providing health camps, like doing tree planting, like celebrating festivals in your stores. And of course, blood donation is something I think as a we can see a lot of NGOs doing blood donation camps. I think as a pharmacy, you will be the only pharmacy chain which is associated with this blood donation camp, I believe. And you spoke about the promotional campaigns, what you have been doing. And one big takeaway from this is what you mentioned is differentiate or sell cheap. You mentioned very clearly, if you fail to be different, the customers will focus on price. That is really true today in the market. And the customer sees how differentiate is this product for me, but it's not differentiate, they try to bargain. I think that is something you have. That's really a great insights and what has come out in the session from your end. And more importantly, pricing is something very critical for any business to succeed. And you have actually spoken a lot about how your pricing strategies are consistent over a period of time. And of course, later period you have evolved yourself by having your own brands so that your customers get the benefits. Therefore, as a business, you also grow. And more importantly, you spoke about the hybrid purchase model. I think that is something, a unique strategy. Not many will think a hybrid business, a hybrid purchase model to take care of both the local as well as centralized purchase. I think that is something wonderful, sir. So a lot of insights in today's session. I'm sure the participants and students who have attended today's session must have taken a lot of insights on how pharma marketing works. And my suggestion to the MBA guys who are here is, if you can work in a pharmaceutical industry in sales and marketing for maybe at least for 2 years, that makes you like an iron man. Am I right, sir, telling this?
Yes, sir, certainly. My marketing experience has helped me a lot.
Yes.
One thing is, it makes you temperamentally steely.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
No, it makes us a very sound person temperamentally. That Absolutely. Is very important as for a businessman, and we also learn to handle people better.
Yes.
Learn to handle our superiors as well as our employees better.
Correct.
So this has definitely, I would always say, my days as a representative has really helped me. My days as a pharma distributor helped me. And before all this, before getting into the pharma industry, I worked with an auditor for 10 months. And so I'm little familiar with the accounts also. I'm basically a commerce graduate. Oh, nice. So I worked with an auditor, and I'm quite familiar with the accounting things also. So almost I have a 360, not so perfect, but I have a fairly good knowledge about whatever the business requires. Accounting, okay. Technical, marketing, and these skills I already by inadvertently I acquired that, which helps me to run this business efficiently.
True. True.
So, and whenever we face a challenge, if you permit me a minute,
yeah, please, sir. Please, sir.
We faced a big issue. We were constantly we introduced SAP in our office, and accountants. We have around 25, 26 accountants in the office here. In 1 year, 25 accountants have gone. Because 6 months they come, they work under SAP environment, and they apply to some other company stating that they have SAP experience. Already they take them, and we were facing a big problem here. So what we did now was, see, our biggest problem in the accounting is we get at least 1,500 purchase invoices every day, roughly around 50,000 invoices every month from 1,500 suppliers. So we have to make payment. We have to first make an entry, purchase entry, check the invoice, make a purchase entry, and then make payment every week. Right? So approximately 5,000 payments we have to make. Approximately 50,000 invoices, purchase invoices we have to enter. So this is the volume. So if 25 accountants leave, almost my entire team has gone out and a new team has come in. So this was a big challenge for us. But what we did recently was some 6-7 months back, we called up the SAP guys. We picked the invoice data from the GST portal of this GST portal of the government of India.
Okay.
Now the suppliers have to post all their invoices, no e-invoices.
Correct.
So anybody who does a turnover more than 20 crores has to post his invoice into the GST portal. We picked it from the GST portal on the one side. We picked it from the store on the other side. We matched it, and if it matches automatically, the purchase entry was made into SAP. Perfect. So once a purchase entry was made, automatically the payments were automatically on. We have given the due dates. Automatically payments were made and emails were sent. So everything became automated. So in one stroke, all this 1,000 and odd suppliers will be paid in one stroke when the bill is due. When the bill is due, and they will also get a mail of the payment intimation or the payment information, whatever information, bill number, amount, and all that, UTR number and all that. So the work which we were doing manually, the challenge we faced, attrition, the increased attrition was a challenge. We tried to overcome that by automating everything. And now my office is, if you compared to last year, we are way ahead this year, despite having totally inexperienced team.
True.
So this is a lesson which MBA students should, I think should know. When you have a challenge, you should not, you should face it, and we should try to evolve something, should come out of it. If you apply our mind, definitely there is a solution.
Absolutely.
So this is one small lesson I wanted to share.
Yes, it's so kind of you, sir. Sir, I would like to meet you in person.
You're welcome, sir.
So where's the office, sir?
Araspuram.
Araspuram, okay. Definitely,
yeah,
sir. I'll come to meet you maybe this week or next week. Okay.
Sorry, today I was not at all prepared, sir.
No, it was wonderful actually. It was spontaneous, and you have actually touched up a lot of topics which are covered in MBA marketing electives, right? From branding to pricing to market segmentation to promotional strategies. You have touched everything actually. It was a very good and insightful session. Absolutely, there is no second thought in it. So with this note, I would like to thank you, sir, on behalf of Coimbatore Management Association for being with us today and enriching us with so much of knowledge and information. I'm sure the students and participants who have attended today's session must have gained a lot from today's session. So thank you, sir, for sparing your valuable time. And I also thank our President and Secretary of Coimbatore Management Association for consistently giving us such sessions on a weekly basis. And last but not the least, I would like to thank the Monday Musings team as well as the students and all of the participants who have attended today's session. So thank you all. Meet you all once again in next Monday Musings. Till then, it is bye from CMA and good night to all. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.